All right, looks like I have the broadcast up and running. Just double checking that it is. Okay, it says, doesn't seem to indicate that it is yet. Let's go back to studio for a minute. I'm sure I'm probably streaming right now as I talk randomly about this, but it's not showing me that it is yet. So, live, hey, there it is. But the first one didn't work. Okay, it still says I need to connect my encoder to go. 30 seconds in, it finally shows me something's happening. Awesome. All right, so I left off with trying to get some management tools. I have a designer that for building out the NavMesh for the system, and I was cleaning up some of the tools, and I was adding undo to this, but it wasn't working, and I realized why while staring at it just a moment ago. I'm undoing the traffic designer, but that's not where the data is stored. The data is stored in, where was it? In traffic data, designer traffic data in the settings. So I'm going to create a new function in here. Private void undo. Not undo. I want to record undo state. Record undo state. All right, and this one is going to be undo.record object. This.settings.traffic data. It doesn't want to do this with traffic data? Oh, it's just unhappy that I need something else here, which is the name. And the name, should I pass one through? Yes, I should. We're just going to, we'll pass it through. String. And what do we call this one? This one is state name. Sure. And then state name. So now I should be able to just put this here. Get rid of that part. Copy that center again, or copy that back again. Here's another one. Done. Wait, isn't there? Oh, we're still going. There's the undo. We have another one. Node remove. There we go. What's this one? Node remove connection. Undo. Set this one up right. Okay, now for the update, we draw the update. I believe I was going to switch back to gizmos so that that would show up cleaner. But if it's working well enough, I'm going to leave well enough alone. Now I need the actual game. There. Oh, do I still have all this stuff in here? So if I select that and then Control-Shift-B, that highlights the game. Now V, I can hold this down and it deals with finding all the elements. Okay, now let's see if this works. I need, what is it? Not X. I need hotkeys. Connect the node with C. So C, and it did get that little circle here, but it's kind of purplish, doesn't really show up. It's also slow. So when I move this mouse over here, it doesn't show up here yet, even though I'm still holding the key, and now it did. It's also very hard to see. So, all right, I'll just go back to this one and then let go. Makes a connection. This one makes a connection, and that should be it. Now, V to select, C All right, V to select, there we go. C and C and C, there. V, C, okay, that puts the grid all the way up there. That grid is in place. Ooh, Vx, we're gonna move X over here. Even though we can get closer, we don't want the cars to get too close, especially the trucks. However, I don't think I'm going to give the trucks this route. It doesn't make sense. Okay, now we're going to go over here and connect it to this. And then, what's the other one? V. And then we need a C to this one and a C to this one. Now, does this go up on the wall? Oh, it should. X. V. X. Wait, where did that just appear? Was that here already and I just didn't see it? Okay, so let's take this one back. Vx, there, V, and then on this one, X. Now we're going to connect it back to this one and up to this one. Good. Next, C. Oh, not there. Wrong one. Undo should be working now. Maybe. Undo did not work. At least that didn't get it. Maybe the reload didn't work. That was done 3 minutes ago. It should have. Record undo state. Should be in there. All right, well, whatever. We'll just remove the connection for now. So let's go to V to select, and then I don't want B. That removes a node. I want N. There. Now we'll connect this to here and to right there. And then this one, V, and connect it to right there. This one, connect right here. Not what I wanted on that one, so we're going to remove that connection. Yeah, that needs a design tool change for that part. Oh, that really needs to happen on gizmos. All right, V, X, move it a little farther out. All right, V, C, V, C, and then it needs to connect over here as well. So C, bingo. Now this one, V to C. Okay, those connections are in. Next, V to C, V to C, V to C. All right, so we've got several connections on this route. That is not in place yet, not enough. We need another connector right over here. So first off, let's take this one, VX. There. All right, now I need a new one with Z, around there. Now I need X. No, X is already set now. C, and C, and C, V, X. Move that away a little bit. All right, now let's go V to C, V to C, V to C. Okay, are all the nodes connected? I didn't put any down that stripe yet. Oh, not this one. V to C. All right, let's check out the top. This one's not. V to C. Let's get rid of that one. N. Okay, that NavMesh part seems to be in a good setup. So let's bake it. Bake. Okay, that should give me good design data or good driving data to work with. That still works with the car traffic designer. Now let's give this a spot for the trucks to go. All right, so the trucks, I see this bottom route would be a good spot. And some of the bigger ones over here, and maybe, yeah, I guess the bigger route's going up that way. Okay, let's put another route in. This is one of the key things that we're designing in this, so let's duplicate. Control D, it gives us new data. So car traffic designer, oh, I don't want to duplicate that one. Oh, I can just reset the data pretty easily. All right, so this one is truck traffic baked. Okay, now traffic designer goes to this one. Nodes, distance from surface remains the same for, we're going to put in 0 nodes and 0 mappings, and the baked doesn't matter, that'll get overwritten in a few minutes anyway. 42 nodes, that's how many are there in the baked section of this. Okay, now for the traffic designer, I need to put in the other traffic item. We're going to put in the truck traffic designer. All right, now Control Shift B, the item is selected. Index was out of range. Which one is already trying to do that? What's it trying to do here? Node remove. Why is it calling node remove? Because I released B. And the hotkey to get to this. Control Shift B. Okay, that's potentially a bit of a concern. If I hit Control Shift B to highlight it while it's already selected. Okay, so now let's start putting in a couple of these nodes. I suppose I could have several. Let's put it B. No. Z. Let's put another one here. Z. And let's connect it. C. Okay, we got the first part on here. Now we're going to put another one into this spot. we're basically looking at Z and C right now. So Z, and also that one. So there we go, C. Oh, C to connect to that one. Now we're going to put in another one. All right, so we got that route right now. Over here, I want to cross this one over. So let's put another one right here. And right here. All right, another one here. I guess I'll just put in these other route marks right now. Now, what about down this route? That gets pretty closed in pretty fast, but I suppose one truck should be able to fit through that. Let's do it. I don't want... Oh, I removed it. The Control Shift B, it caught that and it removed it. So I do have a problem with this hotkey setup. Yeah, I'll have to change it. Okay. Anyway, so we're putting that back. We're going to put one here. And we're going to put one here. Now let's continue our route down. We'll also put one here. And here. One here. C. This will give us a chance. You know what? We are going really far out of the design route. Whatever, I'll add one of these. The truck routes got a wider area. So C. CV. Let's add one. The trucks can compete for it. Okay, so we got that. And we got this. All right, so now C to there, C to there, V, C, and C, V, and C. So we got a crossover. Next, let's put in a couple of routes this way. V. There we go. So right over here, we'll put in another route. This is Z, Z, Z. And now we need connector lines. Now, for the truck route to be reasonable, it has to go all the way through and allow the truck to pass. So this particular spot doesn't work well to come through, not with the building structure. Let's make sure we got a pathway here before. That widens up again. We got that one. That's pretty thin, and it does come out right next to this, though. What else have I got? Tucks into that building. Could have gone up that building, but we have a big building right on top of it folded in. Is that what the case is? I think so. Yeah, that's a tall building that goes right through there from that side. All right. So my only passageway is through right here. Can I move these? Are they embedded? That's a building set. I'd have to do the same over here. And the same over here. That's a lot to move, and then a passage to send into here. Oh, can I take this and get out from this building? If I'm here, turning, no. So I just have to come through this route. All right, let's do it. Where's the... Not back there. Oh, not going to see any of them. Unless I'm... There we go. All right, so here we make this connection. Did I put one up there? No. So over here we go to C. No, Z. Z, Z. All right. Now we're going to connect, Z, connect, and connect. Okay, that connects those routes. Is this missing one? Yeah, it needs to branch over. So we're going to put one right there. And let's connect it to here, here, and here. There. Good, it didn't get the B. All right, so now, where's my exit path? Was that here? Yes, that was here. So let's set up the route for it. Z, we're going to put that here, C. Next, we have another one. I'm going to put it right here, Z, C. All right, let's put one here. And let's just put in a route to get around to this last part. Z, C, Z, C, C. Now this one, let's also move it in just a little bit. There's basically a U-turn here, so close that in a little more. Now over here, I'm going to bring in another one this way. So let's go to Z, C, and then over here, Z, C and C. Z, C, and C. Finally, the last part needs to come through this, and it's just a long shot, so let's do it. Right here. I guess right here. All right, so now Z to that one we need to remove, which is B. V, connect to that, connect to that, connect to that. All right, so we have a connection, and it's supposed to come around on that side too. Whoa. B. Oh, I moved it. That was the wrong one. Control Z is not working yet. Control Z also sends in a command, a Z command that I'm probably capturing and using. All right, so anyway, let's put this back. What do we have? One there, and that's supposed to go to C to that, C to that, C to that. Now let's move it just a little bit there. That looks good. All right, now V. V to select that one. Let this connect. Perfect. Okay, so I'm crossed over on that line. Now I need to make my way over here. Let's put another one here, Z. This will connect to right there and to right there. And then we're going to put another one here. And let's put one over here. Z. One passageway through here at a time. I should have the key connect automatically to where I just was. The default operation to have it create a new one. All right, so let's put a pathway over here, at least just starting, not to be used yet. Almost done wrapping around. Oops. Move that to over here. All right, let's put this over here. Let's connect it up. Now this one needs to connect down this path. Oh, I already connected those. All right, so V. We're going to put another one here. Z, Z, C, C, V, C. And this one's going to connect to there. And this is the last one. Oh, that's crossed. Okay, let's remove that one. V. Now N. Oh, and I've got the wrong line connected here as well. Where is that? So we're going to connect this, get rid of this one. So V, let's just retach both of those lines. First off, let's connect it to here. Second off, let's remove it from here. There. V, connect to that one. Goes to this one. C. Okay, that's connected. Let's double check back here. What's that one doing? That one doesn't do anything. We need to put another connection over here. So now C connects to there and to there. What's going on here? And to there. Okay, those lines are in. Those lines are in. In. This is going to be the tough part. Got a passageway going through here. It'd be nice. Well, yeah, there's definitely tool upgrades I can do, but I've got a path for trucks to follow at this point in time. They never go up on a wall with this one. Maybe that'll work better in its designs. All right, save it. Oh, bake the data. Okay, so the truck track. Now, truck traffic, instead of using the baked car traffic, should be using the truck traffic. Baked. All right, and we're saying pool count is going to be 2. Pool count is 2. We got a bigger area, so let's go with 4. Okay, play. So we should have cars, we should have trucks. They have different routes and go through different areas. Let's take a look at how they're doing. At some point, it might actually play. In the meantime, where's Obsidian? There it is. Okay, but the game's back on. So we got cars over there. Oh, go scene view. What are you doing over there? What? Okay, you're not supposed to be doing what you're doing. What are you doing? How did you... How were you here and have a connection point way over there? That is definitely not right. I saw some weird behavior with the cars before that seemed to indicate some messed up traffic. Because also look at this. Nothing should have... Oh yeah, things could be up there, but they shouldn't come down from these points. I mean, the fact that the vehicles can basically drive on any surface, and that's a relatively normal thing in this game, that helps it out. So I could get away with tools that don't quite work because that car will just correct itself in a moment and then continue driving once it's down. What? It just moved upside down. Oh, but it used that side of the wall, so it did correct itself finally. All right, if the power drops too low, I need to start increasing the gravity force. That'll be a good system for the driving. Now, in here, there's an automated pathway that's supposed to take them through this area. Seems to. Ooh, trucks. Trucks are really going to mess up. Like this spot, it can't get through here. That's not a reasonable pathway for it. But it's going to just get stuck down there. Wait a minute, what? It got all the way over here and then it moved on? Where the trucks don't have anything over there. Also, it shouldn't have gone back. Why is a truck on that route? Okay, so this tractor on its route, truck car. Oh, the trucks, it pulled an index. So the initial system, the truck system, set it up in there, picked an index, put it there, but then and it set the index on the other on the car, but the car or the truck in this case, what is that? Tractor. So the tractor in this case is using, where's the traffic? Baked. It's using baked car traffic. We need the truck traffic. Okay, that'll probably make more sense for the trucks. All right, so the cars needed to be aware of the baked traffic in order to know what possible routes they can take. Okay, we've got a truck over there. Wait, is it trying to go up? Did I see one? Oh, there's one. What are you doing? Yes, you have a route right there. Come on, you can get there. There, you did it. That's definitely going to need some improvement. Okay, and then it continues its route over there. Is it going to come around this way? No, it turned around. Wait a minute, why did it take this spot? That is it. I need a way to I need to be able to show both the car and this at the same time. So let's select that. So we got that one and the traffic designer. Can I see both now? No, it's only letting me see one, even though I have both selected. That's because it doesn't do the inspector. Okay, so what if I select this one first? I've got the traffic designer, Control-Shift-B, and then also that one. It only works if it's the selection system. If I have, it tests to see if the selection has it by only checking the first returned object from the selection. In this case, I have multiple, so only one object can get that. And so far, no matter how I select it, that always seems to be the tractor clone. Okay, so traffic designer, Control-Shift-B. Now where are you going? Okay, so they need improvement. Oh, if anything's trying to get from back here, this is, yep. What are you doing? Okay, you're trying to make your way over here. And then you just got a route way over there that doesn't even connect to here. There's no reason it should get that data, but it somehow is. And you're finding a shortcut? What? You can't fit through there. That's not stopping you from trying it, because that's probably the most direct route. You stuck? Feel good about taking this route? Come on, this way. You can do it. Drive this way. Okay, you're stuffing yourself through that path. You don't have any ability for strafing on the automated driver. Okay, you're almost there. You're there. You made it. Oh, now you've got the long path through there. Can you get through this one? You stuff yourself. Why did you turn that way? Why are you going that way? No, come over here. Not that way. This way. You're gonna get stuck in that. There's a pathway. But then you're stuck on that wall. You're gonna figure out a way, aren't you? No, no, no. Go the other way. It's fine. Don't mind me. You can see it. You should be steering. You'll figure out a way. It's definitely not a great route. This definitely needs cleanup, but the pathway is there, and something like that'll work for us. Okay, I'm happy with that particular setup for now. Please configure both primary and backup streams correctly. Comparison of the streams. I've got some warning going on in here. One of the streams had an invalid configuration. Okay. Stream status seems good, but that failed a minute ago. Whatever. Now let's go back over to here. What is the next section to build? Okay, so freight cube, yes. Freight follow, yes. Traffic car, freight truck, 3D world map. Hey, is that still in here? Oh, only if the game's playing. Let's make sure that's in here and functioning. It'll show up as some dots down here in the corner. I'll probably need some little lines or something to indicate the horizons and axis, but oh yeah, there it is. So you can see the traffic of the cars and the trucks in relation to the angle that I'm at. So over here, they're here, but I need a little center point that should indicate where the player is. I think that's the blue dot. Yeah, the blue dot. That needs to be a car. Is there a truck coming in from this side? What's over there? Oh, there's a truck right there. What's this? Is that another truck coming around the corner? It is. Hey, I can read the map. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Now I'm inside the map. the map is over there. So that offset position is kind of weird because right now it's like I'm driving in the star field. What if I made that map expand out from the center of the car? Oh, I like this one. Okay. Then that means that I see the spots in relation to the car. That would make more sense, especially since the dots just kind of show up. Okay, let's do that. So first off, main camera, world map. Now this is the world map and it's going to be showing the little dots and everything that are in there. Its position should be the car. So in that case, this is going to go on the car. We're going to drag this over to car. There. We're going to override. Yeah, and it'll still be associated with the camera's perspective. That works. Okay. So in this case, overrides and apply all. Now double check world map. That one has the traffic system to show the cars. It has the truck system to show the trucks. Both of those were working. It has the freight system to show the cubes if any of those get freed up. Those should stand out more. So traffic size. Oh, yeah, let's arrange some settings. Well, first off, how does this look? Play. Okay, so, hey, where is all this stuff? Where's my map view? Is that suddenly not working anymore? Why? Great, I removed the world map from the main camera, and now it's as if it doesn't show up at all. That shows up on default, that's fine, yeah. This stuff, map view, what's going on with map view? Do I have something, how does it draw? The update, we are using draw in-game during the update. Okay. That's what it should be doing. But the object itself is not visible right now, and maybe that's the reason why. So if I were to take this and let's say I move it up just a little bit. Let's go to scene view. Let's go to car. Wait a minute, where is world map compared to... Oh, world's map offset is completely different. Got it. Okay. So world map, and yeah, 000. It's wherever the camera happened to have been inside of the scene view. And then the camera went flying back over to the car, but the position offset, there we go. Look at that. That shows up. The scaling doesn't work too much, but I love the effect of that map on there. Okay, let's go to world scale and traffic size. Okay, what if I set this directly between... Oh, whatever. Oh, yeah, that looks nice. Okay. I like the effect of this. Now, oh, hey, cube. It recognizes that there's a cube here. So if I hit enter, no, I don't get it. I have to knock one of these ones off. Come on, knock one of those off. Oh, I almost got it. Did that fall off yet? This is much harder. I need to make that easier to knock these things off. I guess to begin with, I could set its collider to like 2x the size, maybe? Come on. Because I can mess with those things a lot. Oh, it left me on the other side. What? Where are you going? That's not even one of your routes. What's up there? Oh, come on. That is like right on there. Oh, I can't. It's fighting it too much. Where are you going now? Oh, you switched over to that building. That's one way to do that. Yeah, are you stuck now? Come on. Oh, the downward gravity force doesn't work as much. Come on. I think I need a way to shoot the EMP shots to make this work. If the car can take shots at it, then that works better. You collide. Mm. What? No, I don't want to be on that side. How did I get... What? How did... Oh, there's another one over here. We're going this way. Urgh, gotcha. Still? Come on. Oh, that is definitely colliding with both. Why did that not trigger that? Okay, so pause and go over to scene view and let's find the car. So here's the car, and then here's the cubes. What's going on with the freight? On the individual freight, we do have the freight cube. It should be set up as a trigger. It is. Good. And then over on the freight script, it's currently marked as stuck. Why is it marked as stuck? Is that because it hasn't, its local position hasn't moved? But it also doesn't. We're just going to trigger the chaos. Play. There. Let's go grab that one. Come on. Got it. Now, on my map, do I have one following me? Doesn't show up. Like, there's the little blue dot right in the center. Yeah, okay. There's nothing showing up for the freight cubes. All right, let's go over to world map into here. And we have a freight color, right? Yeah, freight color. Let's go to truck traffic system, F12, and let's find it. Find references. Yeah, that's it. Okay, and then here's freight. Now, freight is supposed to draw a circle using the freight color for that position for everyone in the freight positions. Right now, I should have... It doesn't show up in freight positions because I don't have that, because it's currently in tow. Items that are currently in tow by a truck or by my own car don't show up in there. That's why I'm not seeing it. So pause. Oh, I just meant whatever. All right, so getting them off of the trucks proved far more challenging than I was anticipating there. So let's go. That's with update. Now let's expand this down. Doesn't need to be here. That's the map view. Freight itself. Freight is initially... Its initial state should be lock on trailer. Fixed update. Set chaos. Follow racer set stuck. Unvalidate. What about the collider? The collision system needs to be responsible for passing this off. Is that handled by the... Oh, there we go. On trigger enter. We got the collider. If it passes with a car driver, if there is a car driver and the state does not equal stuck or follow racer. But that other one, when it started out on the truck, let's go into here. I'm just going to check a truck to see what its initial state is. It shouldn't be marked as stuck. Stuck means that the object hasn't moved from one frame to another. And if that's the case, then it just sits there. Because I've got a special case for that one where even if you run into it, it's not going to do anything. Yes. Okay, stop messing with me. Oh, wait, that's what I wanted. I wanted one of those trucks. Where'd you go? Over to world map. Thank you. What's the cube say it is? On freight, it currently says that it's stuck. What's the prefab say? So if we go to here, I don't need this freight in there. We're going to get rid of the initial freight. Do I have a truck or anything else? No, just that freight piece that was floating. Over here, what do we got? Traffic car. Okay, trailer caboose. Going to this one. And what do we got on the freight? The freight is currently marked as lock on trailer. Okay, that's what it should have been. Racer anchor. That's, yeah, it's not using that. Okay, double check. That's what I was expecting. Now go over to this one. Was marked as stuck. It needs to be marked locked on trailer. I couldn't knock anything off. That was why it was so tough. Okay, save it. Now that was the caboose. Now I need the car. Trailer car. All right. Freight is lock on trailer. That should be it. Double check this is actually the correct thing. If the car it's connected to is that, it's connected to the freight on here, and that is done. Return and play. I should be able to knock one of these off of here, and let's actually try this out and see if it works. All right. None over that way. None over that way. Okay, where is the nearest truck? Interesting. That makes it turn the other way. Ah. Oh, I can't even make it through this one in the car. The gap's too narrow. All right, so I think I need to widen this space up. Or go up. There's very little control over the vehicle when you're up here. Let's drop down this way. And you don't get it to go as fast either, but it is certainly an option. No, I want to be on here. What? Ah. Fine, we're getting out of here. There. Oh, is that a truck? No, it's a car. What is a car doing up here? Huh? What are all these cars doing over here? Any trucks over here yet? Oh, use the map, idiot. That's what it's there for. Okay. The trucks are all back that way. They're all in here, and it is... Okay, follow this road. There they are. Come on, no, up. You need to go the other way. Oh, can I make it through there? Oh, it's so difficult. Okay. Now that I've got some freight that's like stuck up here, I knocked one off. Oh, that was easy. Enter. You're coming with me. Let's get out of here. It looks like I'm being chased by fireflies. Okay, we're taking this way. Okay, where's the cube? Oh, I got the cube. Good. Now let's drop off the cube. Let's just put it up here. That's far enough out of the way. Enter. Now, do I have a freight cube right behind me? Yes, I do. Okay. The camera should be closer to the car. Let's go to, where's this one? The car. I need the camera. So main camera. Do we have a script on here that follows? No. We have a camera chaser. This is the one. Back distance. Okay, up distance. Let's try this setting out. What did I set that to? 5 and 2.5. Okay. With the positions heading away like that, that does make it a little bit tougher to follow. So it does feel like they need to be associated with the camera. Where am I? Okay, everything is off this direction. Fine. Ah, there we go. Found him. Wait, I want that side. Thank you. There we go. Let's get that cube back. Where are you? Oh, I dropped it over there. So right now the distance doesn't matter on the acquisition of the freight cube, and it should be right behind me. I can't see it from here though. Yeah, I can't see it. There it is. Make it there. Okay, yeah, I think the driving pattern works well. It really changes the strategy of the game. There's water here? Oh, yeah, there's water. I can drive on water. The reflection on that side looks weird. Whatever. All right. This is, I think those are reasonable enough for now. I can keep improving them as I go. Next, what is the next task on here? So we've got 3D world map, 3D arrow map, but I have nothing to point to, and also close-up holo map. So arrow map is literally just an arrow that is going to point in the direction that I want to go. So if I have a target, if I have something near me, like if I'm holding a freight cube, then the nearest supply depot where I want to drop those off and get credits, that's going to be what it points off, the drop-off points. Then there also is the holo map. The holo map is supposed to be a close-up of where I am. Just it'll be something off to the side, and it's going to show the 3D outline of the buildings I'm on with the unit marks on them, or particular key value interest. It's not going to show traffic. Should it? I don't know. It feels like it should show more strategic information about what's going on in that building or immediately around it. I'll come back to that. I do want the drop off. I do want the credits to show up. So I need the, in order for the drop off to happen, I need a place to get money. So I need credits to show up. This expects a UI to be in here to show how many credits I have. Okay. Let's go ahead and save all this. Save it twice. That saves the entire project. Now, can I get into the console from here? Show and explore. Not quite what I want, but close enough. So go to this. That took me to documentation. That's not what I was looking for. There. This one. Now we are in Vigilante. Right click. What? Open in terminal. Thank you. Now I'm where I want to be. All right. Get status without the caps lock or the num lock. Why is that so slow? Status is not a word, yes. Get status. Lots of deleted objects. What's it talking about? Speed test. High state debugger. Visual scripting. Did I get rid of this? Whatever. Okay, untracked files. We got some big stuff to add. So git add dot. Oh, it's only adding from where I am. There we go. LF will be replaced. That's fine. Can you stop giving me those warnings? That's an asset prefab, caboose, whatever. Okay, now git commit -m, and the message will be, what stuff do I have in here? Basic map. What was this? World map. World map. Done. World map done. What else was there? Separate truck / car traffic. Cube freight. Colliders configured correct / working. Okay. That at least commits the state that I just did. However, right now this is set up to push over to a network drive, and I was having some issues with the network drive. And so until that's set up, I don't have a git push. Let's try it's going to complain. Yeah, I don't have a Z drive right now. So I've stopped using GitHub. I'm still using Git, but instead of using GitHub, which there's just way too many limitations. Like the default limitation on it is like 4 terabytes for a project, or 4 gigabytes for a project. 4 terabytes, that'd be plenty of space for most of the stuff that I do. There's been a few that get closer to there, but in this case, yeah, 4 gigabytes. But I've got one asset pack inside of this that goes over 4 gigs. And so saving this up to saving this to GitHub is no longer possible, not without paying additional file fees just to store it there. And there's way too many Unity projects that have this set up. And so I'm just using the file system on machines at different locations. So it backs it up to a network drive that I have on another one, and that's just another Git repo. I'm finding Git a lot better now, especially when you're just using it as a person by yourself on your own projects. However, having to share it out, having to deal with the network messes, or the merge messes, that can still be a pain. So we've got that. We've got a state backed up now, even if it's local to this hard drive, to this machine. Now I need a score. And I also want to start using the new UI system a little bit more. So inside of this, let's start creating this. Models, prefabs, scenes, scripts, settings. I have no sounds. All right. I also keep wanting to step back from this and build a special plugin management system. where it lets me take all of the models. Like there's asset explorers out there. Actually, I'll just pull that up. Unity asset store, um, asset explorer. This will just go into the asset store itself. Hey, it knows who I am. And then in like 10 seconds, it's going to be like, I don't know who you are. Log in again. Does it still know me? It still knows me. Okay, cool. Asset Explorer. Maybe someone knows this who happens to be watching or has watched or watching one of the recordings. If you know a solution for this, please comment on it. I would love to find out. But there's asset explorers, which basically let you view the objects in the editor. So this would be under editor tooling. So let's go to tools. Uh, finding the finding the thing in here is going to be solution organizer, maybe. Effectively, I just want sort of like the asset panel where you can search for the objects that you have, except I want each object to be saved externally from Unity. And then when I want to, I can search for it. It finds it by keywords, by tags, by information about the file, and then it can import it directly into the project. And it'll find it whether it's a remote object or part of mine, because there's way too many times I am importing a 4 gig asset library to just so that I have all the sci-fi panels or a large number of sci-fi panels. And then I pull them in, and now I only end up using like 10 of those things out of like the 1,000 or so that are in there. But then this way, I can just get them out of there. I put them into my system and they're just part of my system. And then it understands it came from this package and it comes from this stuff. And that's what I want. I want to have an asset explorer that doesn't care if it's from outside of Unity or inside Unity. And it just stores it and I can look it up and pass it in and it's just part of the project. And that would be so much better than what I end up going through in Unity as is. So and I want to build that. I keep coming back to just wanting to build it, but that's not the focus of what I'm trying to do. That actually might make a really good asset for the asset store. Okay. But it needs to have a few things in it. So it can't just be for a standalone person. There needs to be some licensing information that comes along with it. So for instance, you pull it from a particular spot, it should have a way to identify as this part of a package that came from Unity. And if it is, it should include what package information that came from. And so that way it has licensing information and we can understand seat references. At least if I can get that stuff into a system and understand that I personally have the rights to use that, then that works for me. Now, what else have we got? I need the UI. So let's start getting the UI in here. Vigilante, we need UI. Oh, what is the setup here? So I'm going to do Unity. I haven't done the new UI much. I've done some of it and I really liked it. So like the UML, the UCS, was it called? Unity cascading sheets. The styles, all right, or USS, Unity style sheet. All right, so Unity UI quick start. Okay, runtime, introduction. Just give me the basics of where the stuff is supposed to go. No, like an infographic would be nice. Quick start GUI tools. No. There, thank you. Is this just a page? It's kind of what I'm hoping for here. Okay, good. This is going through the basics of what I need. Perfect. All right. So where do we put this one? Creating a document inside here, right? I'm going to move this off the panel while I'm doing here, or doing this. Now I need a UI. So create empty UI there. Now it's going to need a UI document. All right, so inside of here, it wants the panel settings. Do we have one already? No. Can I just create one? Source asset, the visual tree. All right, let's go. I wonder what that was. That's water. All right, 140. That one's actually Sprite. All right, so now we have the UI. I need to start creating this one, UI package manager. We should have it because we've already got UI document stuff in there. Next, set up a scene. So creating a scene, we got this. The objects we create. Now the UI toolkit is a document. Yes, I added the UI document. I'm assuming I'll need to add it somewhere down here. It could add it to data, but this isn't data. I'm just going to create one called folder UI, and I'll start putting items underneath here. Okay, adjust panel settings, blah, 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 screen width, assets, UI toolkit, panel settings. All right, so I need settings. This will be in here. Settings. Create folder UI, enter, enter. Now create UI toolkit, panel asset settings. Sure, yay. Okay, anything special I need to set up? Scale with screen size. Sure. Where am I putting it? Scale mode, got it. Scale mode. Wait, I just added a panel to here. Is this because it's baking assets? I know Unity loves to bake assets all the time, but this is getting really slow and stuff is disappearing and then it comes back, and I understand why they do it. Like it's supposed to be faster and once it's in use, but that could be part of a larger load. We could do things to initialize this faster so we can get to edit and design faster. All right, so where are we going? Scale mode, scale with screen size. Yes. Change mode parameters, screen match height or width. Sure. Typically, I'm going to be looking at 16 by 9 resolution, so 16 by 9. Reference resolution, I guess we'll go with 1920 by 1080. Sure. Next, match. I guess we'll go 50-50. Width? No, that could script UI settings if someone does a really wide panel in the game. Whatever, 50-50. All right, next, any other things to say? Match 0.5. Oh yeah, that one was in there. Great. Now I need to start creating the HTML document, the UI. So this one is a header UI that shows up in game. Okay, so default panel settings. Let's go over to my UI document and set the panel settings. Yay. Now I need on the UI, not in here, UI. You know what? There's so many different settings that show up in here, and the settings relate to the specific elements. So we've got rendering. So we've got default ones that we don't really tie into our own code base as much. So this one is actually going to make more sense to keep this setting over here in UI. That's the most likely place I'll go looking for it. All right, so UI, now I need create folder documents, UI toolkit, create UI toolkit, UXML. And this one is going to be called header in game. Hmm. In-game header. Sure. It doesn't need to look pretty right now. I just need information to show up and for it to be obvious what its purpose is. I guess for now, for the crates, should I just qualify it as 1 crate, 2 crate, 3 crate, or should the crates give me credits? I guess it gives me more flexibility that the freight gives me credits, and then I might be able to buy 2 or 3 smaller things, or buy one, or, or spend like 3 of the freight to effectively get a larger thing. Okay, I'll turn it into credits. So in-game header. Let's put this up here, UI builder. Now I need this document to show up attached to the top. So let's select the base element. We need a style sheet. We don't need a style sheet. It just needs its own. Let's see. I need a panel, visual element. Sure. So we have the visual element that should be largely taking to the top. We're going to go display, visibility, yes. Position, I want it relative to the top. And left and right should both be 0. All right, so that's position. Now I need the size. And the size for width is auto, for height is going to be 50. I need the max. I need the max to be 50. And 50 otherwise. Cool. So now whatever the width is, that's going to be right across there at the top. And now I need to drop another element in that's going to be right over to the side. This needs to have, I guess to begin with, it just needs to be a placement. So do we have something in here that just gives me, well, visual element? I'll just drag it inside of here. And what's this first one? This first one is, we'll call this top bar. All right. This one we're going to call score, not score, credit. It's not the credit itself. This is the credit panel. Okay, so now that we got the credit panel, we're going to set the sizes we want. Display position aligns to the right side of the screen, 0 pixels, and from the top, we're going to go for 5 and 5. Good. So this will be 40 from there. Let's do size. And now we're going to give the size, the max is going to be 40/40. So 40 and 40. That gives me the height, which should put this. Okay, and the width is going to be, let's just put it at 100 by 100 by. Hey, come back here. By 100. Now its alignment is already showing up over here. So let's see. I want my alignment. Come back over here. It needs to be on that side. Perfect. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. So now I've got that panel size spacing. Sure. The element that I'm going to put inside of this, we need a text field. We need to display a number. So a label will do. Label, and then I need to indicate some sort of value. So let's search in here for coin. Oh, this is one of the things, like if you want simple UI to pull into your game, Font Awesome is one of the best places that I like to go. So They have clear, concise stuff, and as long as you're not using the pro version, then, well, even if you are using the pro version, uh, that you still get really good ones with just the basic symbol. So now, what am I looking for? I'm looking for coin. Everything is pro. Can I turn off pro? Oh, there's so much stuff. 28. Okay, can I search where it's not just pro? How about cash? Possibly one of those. Cash app. Uh, dollar. There, dollar sign. I guess I could use that one. Free. There you go. I can mark it as free. Much better. Okay. I guess it's not too big of a deal, whichever one I'm going to use. So within the licensing, when I do the about page or I have on the website where it's posted, I'm going to be listing that it includes the use of Font Awesome. But from everything that I saw for the free version, you can still use it completely free anywhere, commercial, whatever. Okay, so there we go. Print screen. I need just the outline of this. All right, let's do that. Print screen. Grab just this portion of it. All right, now over here, zoom this in. And now let's start to clear out the background. More, I want to select stuff. Selection. Oh, let's flatten the image. Image, flatten. Where's my flattening? Oh, I guess it already is flat. So how about selection? I'll be using GIMP for this. Fill with nothing. Yeah, I'll have to come back and do this again later. But let's go Control Save. This is going to go over to this drive, projects. Nope, wrong one. Vigilante 41, assets, 41, textures. And now we're going to call this one cache icon. All right, so now I need an image that's going to show up in here and it'll be right next to it on this side. So let's put this in. Where's the image? Image, there we go. Drag it into here. Now, where do I actually set the texture? Cache. Oh, good. And it caught the alpha already. Next, we're going to go to size and position. So position, we're going to be setting it over here to negative 50. No. Absolute. So inside of here, we're going to set this to negative 50, enter. Now we need to set its size. Align will be to that side. Oh, but we're absolute, that doesn't matter. Size, we're going to be scaling this down. Let's set it to 30 for height and, 30 for width. which means that the height should probably be about 20 or 25. Okay, so now where is the actual box here? There it is. That one needs to show up next to it, which means its offset alignment, no, position, should be at -30. Its size needs to change. Size, we're going to set its height to about 40. Sure, we'll set it to that size of the text, and the width to 70. Okay, it doesn't fit within that size range. Did this get automatically... I don't want to scale to fit. There we go. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. We're going to move from this side. Perfect. Now. Oh, okay, that is not the way that I want that to go. Relative, it's probably relative from center. So with that one in mind, what? Oh, it changed. Got it. I've got the whole thing. Nope. There we go. Okay. Perfect. Good. Now we got the credit panel. This is a child element of the credit panel that shows up there. Next, I need the actual cache line. So I need a label that's going to show up inside of there, and this should consume the whole thing. So the label, we're going to go for height. Where's that? Align, and we're going to consume the full height. Size. There we go. Whatever. Let's just align it to this side and to center. Okay, cool. Now the value inside of there, let's expand that one out. That label needs to give us the size. We're going to give this one a name. This is going to be label value credits. Okay, label credits is available. Now, if I put this into the system, let's save this and go into game. I'll go to game view. Now I've got the UI, and inside of here it needs a visual tree asset, which should be the UML, right? There it is. It showed up. Okay, that text is not going to appear very well as is. I need a way for that to be visible, so the panel behind it needs to have a background image. Let's go to here, UI. Oh, I know. Where is... We're going to make a change to this because I like the icon, but I'm going to alter this. Where did I lose Snag It? There. What's this one doing? What? What are you doing? What is this background thing? Much better. Okay, clear out that one. Ooh, Control Z. Let's change the tolerance, increase that. Much better. Okay, now we're going to do that to that one as well. Perfect. Now, I don't want to get rid of those ones. I want to change those to white. So we're going to change it to white. And let's just copy a selection. Not that type. I want this. Control CV. So we now have that pasted, and I certainly don't want that to be the entire width, just right there. Okay, so now I'm going to select this, flatten image, flatten all. We're going to take this and go Control C, V, paste one right there, and V again, paste one right there. We're going to change the design of this, and I'll use the fact that I've got the white background as part of this. Okay, still credit to Font Awesome for the initial UI appearance. However, I'm probably chopping this up hacky enough that they don't want the accreditation. But that's where I got it from. That looks like it was, yeah, it was already fixed. So now we're going to go over into the UI document again, UI Builder, this one. We're going to drag this over to here, and let's just go to alignment to 100. It's going to be here and here. Center and right? Sure. Okay. That's label credit. But where is that image? The image is the background. F2. So now we're going to stretch that one out, and we'll just consume that area manually. Next, the label that we've got over here, we're going to align this one. We're going to put, I need its position to be, in this case, I guess, absolute. At least according to the object it's just beneath. So size, position, absolute. We should be able to just drag it now. There. And inside of it, its alignment for the text needs to be over on this side. Okay, now I need a font size in here. Text. What do we got? We got alignment to that side, yes. The size of the object, of the text that's in here, let's adjust the label positioning to center it a little bit better. And now, yeah, we got that one. It shows up over this just fine for now. Save it. Transparent works for this. Control S. And where's, do we have save or is that just Control S? Control S. Back to game view. We have the label. Good. Now I need to actually set this up with the code. I don't need the styles sheet. What I do need is the ability to control this. So for that, I need the name. If I remember this right, UI Builder, what do we got? Label credits. I need this information to be exposed. So bindings, data source. This is not control. It's I forgot the framework. MVP, no, MVVM. This looks like model view, view model, where it has events and data bindings going on between the objects. Okay, so scriptable object. I can pass a scriptable object into here. That's actually, that might work best. Okay, so scriptable object. Let's just pass a scriptable object in here to begin with. So inside of this one, we've got truck traffic baked, and then the data source. Yeah, radius, sure. So if that's the case, then this should come up as 4 when I play this. Let's go back to the game and play. Does that value become 4? I think it's like 4 or 5 or 6, some small number. It's a float, but it would still show up as an integer. The label did not automatically update with it. And let's just double check. Yeah, there's nothing in there that changes that. So that's not the kind of binding I was expecting. Now, great, yeah, you're putting UI in there. This is the title text, blah, blah, blah. No, no, don't care, don't care, don't care. I need the code. How do I link the code to it? How to access the UI documents and code. Okay, create a script called main menu manager. This is not main menu, it's going to be the header. So let's go to scripts. Scripts, and in this one, I'm going to create a folder called UI. Or should I just put it down here with the UI? Create folder scripts. I don't know. I kind of feel like the script stuff should be in this one. No, no. We're going to put it in here. Create folder UI. I haven't used this enough to make up my mind as to the best strategies for it, but for the time being, scripts usually all go into the same project folder space. So create folder, not folder. This is UI toolkit. Anything special about that? No. So it's just a mono behavior. No, this was not using a mono behavior. How is this one set up? Yeah, it was using a mono behavior. All right. Create this one, and this is going to be header menu. Uh, in-game header. Okay, we got this in there before it got to there. Next, it's going to want a UI document, so it needs to know the UI document. So public UI document. And I guess we'll just call this document. Doesn't matter? No. UI document. All right, now I don't have buttons, but I do have a label. So how would I register the label? UI document, what namespace are you attached to? You are attached to the visual element. Hey, come back. Why don't I see? It's not standing out to me. Mono behavior, you should show up as part of Unity Engine in namespace Unity Engine. So what's the namespace in this one? In namespace Unity Engine.ui elements. All right, perfect. So public Unity Engine dot UI elements dot, and now I need label. Perfect. Okay, it's just label. And this is the credit text. Okay, so right now I'm going to need to store this information somewhere, and that I don't really have a reason to store it in a scriptable object. Like it would make it easier to transfer from one object to another or from one scene to another, but so far the entire game operates inside of one scene and it's probably going to remain that way. So at least for this game. Public, so we don't need anything to hold it externally. Public label, we do need to store the data somewhere. And I guess we're just going to make it part of this one for the time being because it's the only thing it does. And if this starts to get complicated or has too much responsibility it starts taking on, then I can start splitting things out. So right now I need public static. Ooh, I can do this. Interfaces. Public interface, and we're going to call this I credit. Yes, I credit manager. Now, inside of the credit manager, we need a couple of fields or properties. So we're going to have public get public int credit, which is going to be get, just get. Okay. Public int add credit. Yeah, we'll return the value. Public int add credit. Int credit. Public int remove credit. Int credit. There. Now, inside of here, we're going to make a singleton for this one. So public static I credit manager. Credit manager. Now public awake, void awake. I don't need to be public. And inside of this one, we are going to say we want the singleton to become available. So credit manager equals this. Now that'll complain because this doesn't currently have the iCredit manager on it. Let's add the effects here. Yes, all of it. All right, so now we've got that, and put this value here. So Control X. We're going to put it up here. We do need the information to be generally available. So public int credit. We'll put an underscore on it. This one's going to be private. No, it can't be private. Public int credit. Private int credit, and this needs to be serialized. Equals 0. And this will be serialized field. There. Okay, so now add credit. We're going to say underscore credit equals plus equals credit. Remove credit is underscore credit minus equals credit. I know that system could be it could be offloaded to whatever wants to up the credit by just making this a public field. In this case, I do feel like I want more control over the more isolation to protect some of the layers, to protect some of the data, because this is going to become a little more complicated, and how it displays this information is going to change. So I don't need it too much. I just want it separated out enough initially. Okay, so we've got add credit, remove credit, and now we need some kind of function here. Public void, private void, refresh UI. Good. So that also refreshes it. I guess this is another thing to do. There. On awake, it's going to refresh the UI values. And finally, refresh is going to go over into here, and it needs the label. So we're going to take credit text, this dot credit text, and dot text equals. What do we have going on here? All right, so we don't need anything in here special. We just need the underscore credit. Dot toString. Sure, that should be it. Credit numbers will be much higher later, so let's just widen that field up a little bit more. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but flatten the image, flatten. Now we're going to copy a section of this from right here. But one more, Control CV. That one will go here. Let's zoom in to make sure that's lined up. That looks perfect. Excellent. Control S, save it. Next, back in the game view, we go to here. Yes, there's reload changes. Int paths, not everything returns a code value because I have not saved the code yet. So save it. Oh, int, yeah, nothing returns that. Do I care to? Yeah, we'll just go with void. Add credit, same. If I want the value after, I can do that, but I don't care about it. So this one, void, void. Why are these public? They should just be public anyway, right? Because they are included in here. I didn't know I could put. Is that a new thing? A recent addition in .NET? Okay, minimize that and show up that one. What we got going on here? Credit manager. We got a credit manager. Now I needed to show up with some extra stuff in here. So I'm going to put a little Boolean in this and I'm going to say public bool add credit equals false. Okay, next we're going to put a validate. So private void on validate. And inside of this one, we're going to say if add credit, then add credit equals false. And we're going to say add credit. Yeah. Underscore add credit. That's what I want there. There, and then this one is 100. There. Now back into the game. There's the label. Play. I don't have anything hooked up into this yet. So let's put that UI code in here. In-game header. There we go. Now this also needs the document, which that references the documents there. And recompile. Okay, play. Now, label will be left alone initially, so that one should get auto-fired at start. Okay, add credit. That brought it up to 100, but the reference to the UI element is not set up in here. Wasn't that field part of this? In-game header. In-game header, yes. And then that has the credit text. Credit text doesn't show up in here. Credit text is one of the UI labels. Why does that not show up in there? What? Okay, so over here we have a label, credit text, which I do modify here. We set the credit text every time we refresh this. Recompile. I feel like you're missing something, like the credit text label. Now let's move to here, and that's there. Okay, credit text still doesn't show up. Why does credit text not show up in this case? So here we have the in-game header, and we are missing the label. Settings pop up. Do you have a label in here that sets things? Settings label. No, nothing that changes dynamically. Okay. Let's go back over to the actual code. What is so special about this one? Public public label, and this, let's double check where it's getting its label from. Namespace UI elements. Okay, this is not showing up where I expect it. So let's go over to here and do a quick search for this. Unity UI element dot label label not showing label field not showing in inspector. Oh, I can't just drag it in from there. Okay, so in that one, that's going to be different. I need to find it. Okay, got it. So during the wake, we got the refresh UI. I need to set the value of this one. So credit text equals, we're going to do UI document. We need the document. UI document dot find object by name. That's just finding by type. Oh, because I'm not looking at this dot, what is it? UI document dot find. It's not find. Root visual element dot find ancestor, common ancestor, not what I'm looking for. Okay, what was the command to actually find child elements inside of this? Okay, let's do it. That's what I'm changing the search to. All right, so over here, let's go to this one. Unity UI document how to find a named label, named element. UI document probably has an example to it. So document Q. Okay, query dot Q. And now inside of this one, it should be a label that we're going to pull back, and it wants the name equals, and what did I call this? We're going to go back into Unity and the UI builder, and now I go to this one, label credits, Control C. This is an object. No, it is not tied to anything. Good. Data source bindings type. Good. That one's set in there now. Save it. Probably missing some step inside of there. Okay, label, paste it. Label credits, done. Now, that one should show up in here. So let's go debug.log. That one was the credit text, Control C. Equals. Cool. Now we're going to log the credit text, colon space, plus credit text. We'll take over its .string method, comma. Now, what else? Is there something else I'm missing that I need to put into there? Okay, what are you complaining about? Logger? No. There, much better. Okay, that should set the label, I think. Let's find out. All right. It's refreshing. Time check. 2:30. All right, play. 0. Okay, add credit. 100. There we go. And what happens when we go to a larger text in here? Let's say 100,000. Oh, it doesn't. There we go. It runs out of space. That's fine. And we'll want larger and larger numbers, but oh, that's condensed now. I need to do a quick modification of the actual credit area. So scene UI builder, we're going to take this label and expand that out. Where's my width? Size. There we go. Something like about there. Now its left should be aligned around there, and it's the text then needs to change. So now let's go over to the label. Let's drag this over to here. That should give me plenty of space to work with. Control S. Back to the scene, back to the game view. Very nice. Okay. For the numbers, I'm just going to put 0 in there to begin with. Let's go back into there and let's change the label text. So the label's initial text value, where's text? Text. And where's the value it says? Right there, text is 0. Perfect. Save. Back over to scene view. So now we've got that, and we should have a static singleton that is exposed to interact with this now. Okay, that one's in there. Let's leave it. Was that all the stuff that I needed? We've got a UI. We've got the ability to add credit. It should be a singleton object. So up here we have the iCredit Manager. We have a static instance of it, iCredit Manager. And during the awake, we set the credit manager to this. So now anything can access it so long as it goes to in-game header, in-game header.iCreditManager. All right, that works for me. Next. Oh, that means it's done. So now we go back into here, save twice, and let's go into the terminal. Now we're going to go with get status. I don't need a status for this. I need to get add dot, we're at the root. Now get status. Okay, much better. Marked everything out. Get commit -m. And now we have the UI label. We have the credit label singleton available. Functional. Just doing a local file one. Why is it taking this long? Okay, whatever. It finished. What? No. Okay, there. Okay, what's the next one? What time have we got? We got 2:30. I've got about 40 minutes till I need to go. All right, we'll leave that alone. Next. Where is my documentation? Documentation there. Okay, so we got credits. Next, we need a drop-off. So a drop-off point is where I can drop credits to get money for it. I need a spot to do that. Hey, what about this? Control-Shift-B. That's in the line with traffic. I feel like wherever I'm dropping this depot off, it should be... I guess it makes sense that it's still a place that can take freight normally. So that should be somewhere where trucks would pass by as is. I just happen to be using them more directly. However, in the lore of this sci-fi, this one has Uh, the world is supposed to be set up so that these freight cubes is like when you have a house, you have a place. While you might have like an apartment, a condo where you go inside in one location, generally speaking, the access port to get inside is going to be the size big enough to fit the entire car. And so there's not going to be an entrance into any of these places that should be smaller than that. But I do need one of these to be nearby. So I guess I'll put it on something. I don't want it to be too far out of the way though. So let's just leave it right near where I am, right there. So I'll need some kind of a model to signify that this is there. I also need some kind of a symbol. I'll pick the model first. This is supposed to be a drop off. It's supposed to be a gate, a doorway. So let's take a look at this. Can I have another project panel? So add tab. Let's go with project. And in this one, I want it to be a one column. No, I want two column on this one. So two column layout. Now over on this one, I need to search for it. Let's go with gate. No. Door. M door. What is this? That's material door. Is that compiling or just not usable at all? What do I have for my inspector? That's a mesh. Okay, let's pick one of these sci-fi megacity prefabs, buildings, trenches, zones, building sets. That's just buildings. So we've got, here's the buildings that show up inside of this. This is a very lightweight one. I also need, not materials, is it HiveMind? Cyberpunk City. All right, I've got plenty of special things in here. URP is not in place yet. Okay, let's get this in place. And then after that, I should save that because that's going to be putting a lot of updates on the content, on the 4 GB plus of models and meshes. I imported it, but I never set the URP. All right, so I have a few sci-fi items that are in here. Actually, let's go over the task. The task. Oh, Sana. I should bring Sana up. Sana? Let's go over to Vigilante. Okay, world map is effectively done right now. Putting that down into done. Hey, why can I not add it? I have lost all my mouse. I have no interaction control with Explorer, with Edge. Okay, good job, Edge. Can I select another one? No. I have no ability to interact with any of the Edge browsers right now. They're active. Maybe they're active because I'm now getting some kind of blockage issue where it's trying to show me what live streaming is doing. But from here, let's see, do I have anything in here? Refresh. Upcoming. I have 2. Well, that's no good. Oh, that's still using that old logo. I need to get rid of that. I'm trying to get rid of most of it. Any plus spot where I'm using AI art. Anyway, going to that one. Suddenly, I can see. Did it just push an update or something? Why did that go away? All right, whatever. We're going back up here. World map. World map is now part of done. Okay, arrow map and hollow map. I'm not concerned with those ones yet. Credit is now done. Okay, next. I'm working on drop off. That's the active one. So assign that to me. Hmm. All right. So the task that I'm working on, drop off. Click on that. All right. When freight is active, highlight drop off map on the area. I still need the map in place. Did this? There. Okay. Import. That's putting URP into place now. First thing, it just needed to unzip it, I guess. Okay, drop off. When freight is active, highlight it on the map. This means the highlight point becomes enabled in the holographic map and the, oh, I'm missing explanation there. And the world map. It needs to show up in the world map so I can see where it is in relation to my car. After that, the arrow map will probably be a good item to add so I can point to where I'm supposed to take it. For now, I just need to get it over to here. So I need some kind of gate there. Now, we've got URP. Did it somehow get in here? Hive mind. Prefabs. Can I see this stuff? Like if I select one of these, is it going to show me this stuff that I need? Because it should be in the URP setup right now. Okay, I need a door. I don't need balcony. That's billboard, that's block. Hey, let's change the view size. One column layout. No, where do I see like the breakdown of icons? I want to see the icons in here. That's typically the 2 panel, right? Oh, and then inside of here, I need, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. But then I have to wait for it to step through and do a render processing on each one of these. Well, let's start looking for the name. Building support. Ooh, that's a window. Not what I'm looking for. Oh, let's take a look at that close up while it's doing the rest of its thing. Oh man, that's taking so long. Why? I also have a large backup restoration process going on in the background right now that's moving over several terabytes of data since I lost part of my network drive on the backup. Okay, I don't want windows like that. That looks cool. I like the effect. It's a good way to do that, but doesn't do what I need. I just need a doorway. Kind of like that. But I need to find some other items. It doesn't quite work. I don't want a window. A dumpster, maybe? Turned on its side just so the opening panel is there? It needs to be like a big gate. What's this? No. That's a full building. Let's move all this stuff over. What is that? That's like a little edge of something? Yeah, sidewalk edge. What's this? Wall. Not quite. What's this? Roof square. Maybe? I suppose I could also just put in any filler for right now, but at the moment I should put in something that's much closer to what I want to get out of this at the end. Those are really well done. I really like the depth textures that happen. It's all just on the glass, the material. It makes it look like glass. No? Okay, that is definitely not a doorway that I want to use. Right. Okay, this stuff doesn't work for what I'm looking for. Okay, Hive Mind. I thought that was going to be better. This one is like 4 GB of data. Sci-Fi Megacity. Let's go with that one. Oh, wait, that's the one that I'm in right now, isn't it? Models. If I go to this, it's just the buildings, right? Buildings, building sets, trenches, and ground. What's on ground? Prefabs. Trenches? No. Zones. Building sets. Not what I'm looking for. Be looking more for doodads in a set like that. Okay, that's gone away. Sci-fi package, free material. Okay, I need to pull in a different asset for this. So let's bring one up. Unity Asset Store, Package Manager, My Packages, and inside of this, what am I looking for? First off, sci-fi. And let's see, Sci-Fi Megacity, no. Cyberpunk City. Let's just view in the asset store. I really wish this would have some of the images that show up on there as well. Like, this is hard to tell. I've got 1,000 assets in here, so it's really difficult to figure out from just the name what I'm really looking at here. Okay, so that's not what I want. Let's go back to take a look at all of my stuff. And now let's filter by sci-fi. RTS 21, I think I put this in here. No, it wouldn't have been in RTS. It would have been in Vigilante. There. Okay, fine. Let's go to expand out 3D. This one, sci-fi heavy, uh, open in Unity. This one has some gates and items that might appear and look pretty good in this. Is it there? There. Import. Oh, I'm not even showing what I'm looking at over there. It's over on this panel. But yeah, that's what's loading up right now. Now, how big was this pack? The other city, that just had so much stuff in it that was really high detail. I think most of the expense of that went into most of the size expense went into the texturing. So I'm going to get rid of that other one that's in there because that's a lot of data that does not need to be used. Okay, how big is this one? 1 gig. Okay. But it's already downloaded. We just have to add it to this project. So it's unzipping it, saving unsaved assets that you've been doing for almost 15 seconds now. One gig's better than 4 gigs. This is one of the reasons that I was discussing the concept of having a new package manager. One where like I import them in the first place. So I have to go through some of the task work where I take an asset pack, pull it in, and then I can choose assets. Now, when I choose an asset, I basically am producing prefabs that I'm going to be dragging in. And it should have everything that it needs: the materials, the meshes, the textures, the shaders, anything that it needs, it should have. All right, now let's import all of this stuff. I don't need the code, but whatever, I'll keep it in there for now. Well, I suppose the code could be good because that might have things in there to already control named elements in the animations, like doors opening and closing. Importing package for the last 40 seconds. All right, let's just bring this over here. And while that's running, that works really well. This little panel, the update panel is showing up over everything, but now in the background I can see what I'm importing. The resolution is pretty low on my side too for right now. Certainly not 4K. Oh man, that's got a lot of stuff to import and some expense on there too. But yeah, this is a major asset pack I was using for the original Racer, the one where I started going towards first pushing towards Steam. And I felt like the design worked pretty well. Now, this did have gates in it of some type, but even if not, even if it doesn't have like a specific gate, there's got to be something in here that should work pretty well. The outline of a doorway or something like that. I remember it had a lot of effects there. So that's open. I can't, oh, like there's a gate and there's one. I suppose those could do for now. I could just scale it to match the size I need. Now I want the door so it's already shut. And preferably that gets panel covered with, oh, right there. That was one that opens and shuts perfectly. All right. And same thing, it looks like there were ones over there and there. That one there. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Power cubes or something, whatever that is. Okay, this is going to take forever. So let's get out of this mode. We know it's there. And it's going to take time to import all of that. So what's another section that I could be working on towards the game while that's loading up? We got tasks up here. The drop-off point, what would be some of the script code? We need a point that's going to show up inside of here. Oh, we need a gate. It's going to be a cube drop-off. So let's go over to Font Awesome and take a look for anything that I can pull up there. So where's this? Font Awesome. Escape this, and let's look up cube. Because I want something that's going to show up in the game. So that could work right there. Let's put that into its own separate panel right there. Duplicate. So we got the cube there. Let's do another search for cube. Box. Free. Drop off. Drop off location. I suppose I could combine a couple arrows for this one. Let's do a general search. Drop off icon. So when I search for this, I want to find a point to drop stuff off. That something like that might work, but having the person show up in it, there's no person. Forklift. That might work, but the idea of a forklift within this environment doesn't make sense. The large package is already on its own anti-gravity set, so it can move around to where you want it. All right, so inside of here, images, videos, maps, news, copilot. No, images of drop-off icon. No. Images. Was it? Oh, a box with an arrow on it. Let's go to this. Box, arrow, arrow. Ooh, one of these boxes where it's got the arrow and an outline, and this is like we're coming out of something, and now I want an arrow going into something instead. In this case, it might work better if I actually combine a few of them. So if I take this box outline and then I put a curved arrow leading up to it. All right, so let's do that. Print screen. I'll produce an icon from combining a few of these other ones. So there's that. Check. Now I need arrows. An arrow with some kind of curve. The angle doesn't really matter too much. I would prefer a more rounded curve. No, no, no. Is that all of them? Maybe one of those. Okay, how's Unity doing, by the way? Oh, it finished. Excellent. Now, the other one is I need to get rid of HiveMind because I'm not using HiveMind anywhere. Let's just double check that this is correct. So inside of here we have materials. Okay, there is a lot of stuff happening in there, a lot of color. That's not what I'm looking at. Prefabs. Okay, this is not the one I'm using. HiveMind, we're going to remove it. Is that one already in here? All packages, Unity built in. Not built in. I want my assets filtered by what's already installed. Okay, now what have we got? Cyberpunk City? No. A-Line? No. Sci-Fi Megacity, was that it? Cyberpunk City. Cyberpunk City, there we go. In project is now going to be remove assets from project. Yes, remove, remove. All right, getting rid of a lot of content there. And finally, the arrow that's going to indicate that we are dropping it off. I guess I'll use this one. Now, with this, how do I collect it? We're just going to do a print screen. Start from this side, grab it from right there. That should be sufficient. I don't want it to capture the mouse. That should show up as a selectable object. It did. Delete. Okay, next. We need to get rid of some of the extra content. So fill with empty. There. Keep those outlines for now. Control C. Now I'm going to go over to this one. We're going to fill in that and fill in that. And next, go undo. There. Now Control V. We're going to take this and we need to rotate it around. Where's my rotation? I guess just from the edges? No. Oh, it's up there. A little green dot. Okay, so something like that. Now inside of here, let's go to fill, and we're going to increase the tolerance level really high. Get rid of it. Not that high, but lower. A little higher. There and there. Does that one fit with those arrows? Now we're going to go back to the selection move tool. Select that one, and we're just going to move it over here. There. Does A-Line have the ability to draw texture when it's doing this stuff? Because I need to be able to see this particular location. All right. I suppose I only need one of these arrows. Oh no, did I? Okay, my screen started acting up. It does this weird thing. I've got a like a 40-inch 4K monitor as my primary monitor, and then a couple side monitors. But it does this thing where the power doesn't quite work right sometimes. This was from the US, and it works with this power level, but since I've moved out here, occasionally it just gets these huge static charges. It might be something else that's broken and not the power, but whatever. All right, time. All right, I need to go in about 10 or 15 minutes, but I got this. Save it. And we're going to save it to 41 textures, and this is going to be drop off. I can change this later. Drop off icon. There we go. We got the drop off icon. Now let's go to the map system. Map. Where's my map? World map. There we go. All right. World map. I'm going into here because this is where I'm doing some of the draw functions, and let's just put one in here. Draw image. Draw.ingame. .image. .texture. Okay, this doesn't actually need to do anything that shows a texture. There's plenty of stuff inside of the game system that shows a texture, but that means that I have to manage that in a different way, and I want it to show up on this map. So how would I have it show up on this map? There's only going to be one, so that's helpful. It's going to be from its position. It will use the comparison of its world position to where the actual map is and reduce that down by a scale, the same scale that should be the world scale. Okay, yeah. Because the other ones, we're taking the offset of the offset that we get from this, the player position minus wherever the freight is actually located in the world, or vice versa on the subtraction. And then we multiply it by world scale. So we're basically taking literally the position of each object that we're trying to show in the map and just shrinking it down so it's much, much closer to the map, and drawing a circle to represent it. So inside of this one, instead of drawing a circle, we're going to be drawing that object. So that's only when we have one of the objects in control. So the truck car, that is an interactive point on the car. So where's my car code? PRF car, is that part of what this is in? PRF car, no. Car driver, traffic car, car action. So inside of car action, we have on action click, input action. This is where we're checking the freight. And once we get freight, so in this one, we get freight, release the freight, and find the freight. So right here, we found freight, and we're going to stick it to the car. So freight, this is also the point where we need to find and show the drop-off points. Normally, they don't need to be exposed, but I suppose it's going to be a system that manages this, sort of like we have a system for traffic. Okay, so let's create a system for it. Oh, first off, before I do that, save all this. Save all this. And let's make sure that those changes get checked in. Not that one. That one. Git add dot. That's going to have a while. I don't need all those updates. How do I tell Git to stop warning me about the LF replacements? Whatever the case, I'll let that run in the background. And what was I going to be doing in the meantime? I needed to create a new system. So that's taking care of its stuff. It's going to add this. I'll do another git add before I commit anything. All right, so over here, scripts add class. We're going to do a class that's going to complain about the namespace or not add the namespace setup that I'm already using. Namespaces it finds within this particular folder. It's going to invent its own based on the folder names because I really want to have a namespace called scripts. All right, so class, let's see. This class is going to be drop-off system. Drop-off system. Oh, it did fix it. Oh, wow, I like that. No, I don't care about that. Drop-off system. I'll take care of that in a moment from the console. Devious Vigilante. It did add it. I do really like that it did that. Okay, drop-off system. So inside of this one, this is going to be a mono behavior. All right, it added the namespace that it needed. Next, public. Let's see, do we actually have the terminal in the right spot yet? Oh, it finished what it's doing. All right, same thing again. Good, it found the drop-off system. Let's comment that out for now, save it, and oh yeah, it already added it. So git commit -m replaced cyberpunk 4G with what was the other asset that I had in there? Hey, there. Okay, so instead of this one, I just put heavy station kit with heavy station kit 1G. What did I type? Too many M's. Okay, now because this is just taking care of it locally, I don't really have to worry about the size. The fact that this is changing out effectively 5 gigs worth of content. Technically 1 gig because the other ones are just header information it has to remove from each of them. Yahoo! That's also a really nice thing about working with a file system for this stuff. I don't need to worry about that going out to the main world space or the sync update with a server somewhere online. I can sync it to here, and then I can take that other repo or this repo and commit it and merge it out to a main repo on somewhere else. Okay, so now that I've got that system, I've got the commit in place. Now public, in this one, let's make an interface for it. What are the commands that I'm going to need? Public interface, I drop off system, public register, not public, just void register point. And I need to have something to signal and identify where that is within the game. So that's going to be the model itself that'll be placing along the surfaces. Ooh, I should put the alignment. I should get the alignment tool to drop this to start putting this one on here. All right. Yeah, I'll do that. But register point, and we need to have the drop-off system because there's code to manage that, and I need to know where it is. The mapping point's going to need to know. It could just be operating off of data, like a transform at this point. Yeah, let's do that. I can always update it. So transform, that one, thank you. Better have used, yeah, Unity engine, thank you. Transform. No, I don't want the local one. called that because that's going to get confusing. Transform position. Spot. Spot, we'll call it spot, sure. That should get changed. Okay, so that finds the points. Now we've got these in here. Public, private, list, transform, spots. Yes, missing references. Thank you. Equals new, sure. Okay, now I'm going to need a couple functions inside of here. Those should be embedded inside of this one. We're going to call it void of, no, void transform. So we pass back the transform, and this is going to be from find closest. And that's going to be compared to a vector 3 position. All right, time check, about 10 more minutes. Okay, that finds us the closest. We can register a point and we can find the closest. That should return the closest one to us so we know exactly where that is. That one should be effective, and it's going to be the map system that's responsible for doing additional queries on this to update where that closest drop-off point is. Transform. Okay, now let's add this. Comma, I drop-off system. Yes, just all right, so we got all of them in here. Now, inside of this, we register a new point. So we're going to say spots.add spot. Next, find the closest to the current one. We're going to say we need a distance. So float distance equals float dot max value. And that's going to be distance SQ. I don't need rename refactoring. Not when I literally just wrote that line. Float distance SQ. No. We've already got the distance. So now it's for each. We're going to have to go through each one of those points. And in this case, I suppose I could test this by having at least 2 points in the game. But I'm not going to be ready to put those meshes and models in place yet. So for each var, yes, I know I'm going to create, whatever, 4. The upper is going to be spots dot count there. Excellent. So now we're going through each one of the spots dot count. I'm using a 4 instead of a for each because it has a slightly better memory setup. The other one creates an item for garbage collection, and it's small. So it's annoying for garbage collection to correct in a quick and reasonable manner. It doesn't reuse it very easily. So distance, SQ. So in this case, we're going to get the distance. We need to say vector float current SQ equals, and now we're going to say vector 3 dot magnitude square, and for it wants one vector, which is going to be position minus, and this one needs to be the spots I dot position. There. So now we've got one, and we're going to say if current is less than distance SQ, then distance SQ equals current. And we've got the index. We need to store the index of this. So int selected index equals -1. All right, and selected index equals I. Once we get to the end of this, if selected index, there's no reason that we should ever have an index out of bounds in this. This is supposed to be hard-coded designer stuff, and if it doesn't, if it's going to mess up, I want it to be clear and complain. I don't need it to be that friendly though. So I can just trust that it's going to throw an exception and we'll figure it out easily enough. It seems obvious enough that the drop-off system is complaining that there are no drop-offs in its spots. Maybe if I called it actual drop-offs on this, that would make more sense then. All right, public transform find closest. And so in this case, we're going to return spots and selected index. That's where we would get the exception that could potentially be thrown. And just put a line on it. So if we get an exception and returns to this spot, we will see that, what is that? Out of range, most likely from no drop-offs set up in level. Okay, cool. So find closest is in there. That's really it. That's all it needs. Okay, then that part is done. We have a drop-off system. Now, back over into Unity. That should have been recompiling, but I did just save right before I came in, so that took a second. That's fine. I do need a system that's going to show up in here. New system, drop-off. So drop-off system, we're going to add component drop-off. There we go. The list, does that not public? Public. Thank you. And showed up and recompile, sure. Okay, so now we've got Cyberpunk in here, and I am going to need to create a new script for this that is the individual drop-off point. But let's just create our first prefab for this. So I'm going to go over into Scene View. It's going to go onto this object right behind us. And now let's go into Cyberpunk, not that one, Heavy Station Kit. Wait, why is HiveMind still there? It didn't get rid of everything. Interesting. Delete. Am I using the reflections from that anywhere? Maybe. I don't have water right there. All right, well, whatever. Now, what do I need? Common base. Anything in there? No. So this should already be ready for URP, but let's do a check on this. We need doors. It is not ready for URP. Did I have to do an update on this one? Doors, textures. So textures are fine. I'm guessing this is using a shader, or was it... Let's go to materials. Doors. What does it use? Standard. Okay, specular. This is using Unity's base stuff. All right, and no longer in this can I convert this over in Unity 6. So inside of this, I have to go to each one of these, like that. I can only do one at a time. And we're going to go with URP. And let's just go with lit. Good enough. Okay, this one. URP lit. Glass dark. URP lit, and hey, oh, okay, good. It was making the change. We got a nice shiny metal going on in there. Now URP lit. And finally, another Wait for it. URP lit. All right. So expand this out. It shows us a mesh. Oh, it's some sort of thing down there. And one down there. All right, cool. And what are these? This is just some light effects for some panel. Oh, glow lights. Okay, got it. So that gives us doors, which means the doors over here should start showing up. Why are they not? Because there's more things going on in this. So this is built from other elements. So door, I need to go through all the materials and start doing this? Okay, everything used standard. We're going to go over to URP lit. Okay. They're not that pretty, but we can improve that as we go. Okay, displays equipment. URP lit. I can make additional corrections to this over time. I just need the stuff for the doors right now. The door is built from multiple sets of prefabs, and so it looks like all the materials need to be updated. So floors, maybe that's all the updates I'm getting in before I go. Oh, which is like 1 minute ago. So let's move this URP unlit. Oh, unlit. What did I just do that for? Control Z. Goes to URP lit. Okay, good. Now ground URP lit. Props. Props is probably what's going to fix the doors. URP lit. Stairs. URP lit. Top down. URP lit. Change this one to lit. And walls, finally. Last one to lit. Changing it? Yeah, good. Okay, now back to doors. Didn't I just change all of this? What do you depend? Oh, these haven't refreshed. Does F5 do anything there? No. Okay, that's fine. So if I go over to equipment, those haven't rendered. Whatever. Let's just put this on here. Okay, so now I need doors. No, doors. That I don't need that bottom part. Can I get rid of it? What's this one? Okay, let's just drag this right here. And now turn by 90. That goes on Y. Okay, that's a big entrance to the place. Let's scale this down. Let's go to 0.6 by 0.6 by 0.6. Good. Okay, I think that's it. Let's see what that looks like in game. I can improve the asset later, but let's just save this one and get it committed. Come on, turn around. Okay, there's that. Okay, that stands out well enough for now. One other thing is a world map, not the world map, base car. Camera chaser. This one was going to be 5 and 3. 2.5. Save all this stuff and Save that. Let's go to the console, git add dot, okay, git commit dash m space, what is the project? What's the, added drop off system and drop off model. Also reset URP materials for heavy station kit. All right, so that was in there. Now, git status. Nothing should stand out right now. Cool. All right, that is an ending point for me. Let's close everything out. URP, stop streaming. See you later.